There. Does it work? Let's turn that voice down. Guess it's working. Oh, cool. All right. Here you go then. Let's start off the processing then, shall we? That's what APP looks like. Now, one of the things I was saying yesterday that one of the things that annoys me when you start APP is this box. Every time the damn thing starts, you have to set your working directory every single time. Like this. Okay. And the other thing it sets is this multi-channel filter processing and multi-session processing tick boxes are also ticked. If you start adding stuff with these ticked, it starts asking you, you know, is this filter 1, filter 2, all that sort of stuff. So you have to untick those. And the other thing it does, which is really annoying, is it starts off with this box, which is where you load everything in. But you have to actually tick that. If you don't, it'll process as a black and white image. Right? And that's the annoyances that I generally, when I'm in a hurry, I forget to do. Then you go ahead and load all your images. So what I'm going to do is load. This is a 2-panel mosaic, so I'm going to load in the first panel and the second panel later. You have to do them twice because it's 2 panels. You have to pre-process first. So add in the lights from panel 1. I'm not going to bother looking at these to see if the stars are okay for this video, for this stream. So you just add in all the lights, 25 there. Add in all your flats. Like that. Darks. Around 300-second darks. And the dark flats, which you've of course previously made with your software. So that's added those in. What this will do now is it will go away and it will calibrate. You've got all these buttons here. Now what you can do is literally just go to integrate, that number 6 button. Just hit the button and it will just go through and do the whole lot, yeah, in one go. But I'm going to do it step by step. We've loaded them in, and what it will do now, it will create, go to calibrate, and what it will do is calibrate the images. It will create master flat, master dark flat, and it'll also create a bad pixel map as well of all your bad pixels. So where's the button? There we go. Create masters and assign to lights. And what this does, this goes away and starts processing everything. And you get another window here as well. So it's a bigger version of this. And this will then process and calibrate all your images. At this point, it's just calibrating. I did say you could go up to integrate here and just do all these steps in one go, just by clicking one button. But I wanted to show something else that's quite interesting. You can do after you calibrate if you want to. So at the moment, this is calibrating. What's it doing? The dark frame. It's doing the darks first. So it's actually producing a master dark, which you can reuse. And you can see with this new system, it's using, I've allocated 10 gigabytes of memory to APP. It's using, it goes up to around 2 gigabytes, and it's using 63% of my memory. and I'm actually using 15 threads out of the 16 that I've got with this processor, and it's given me no drop frames so far. That's what I always forget, but I remembered for this time because I wanted to show you what but I've done it. I've done all this and I've got through and gone, oh crap, and now I've got to redo it all because it produces a grayscale image. You don't do that CFA. And if you leave those ticks selected at the beginning, it nags you and asks you which session you're trying to process. So it's great if you have got multiple sessions, then you can, it just adds them in per session. You can set the flats, everything in the same, as you do it, you set all the flats. So that works if you've got, say, multiple nights and multiple filters. CFA is yes, color filter array. It stands for, it's debayering. So if you forget to debayer, then you get a black and white image. We go back in. Yeah, we can go back. The other thing you can do with this, you can multiply the red, green, and blue up here. And with the algorithm, I'm using adaptive airy disk, which is very, very good. But you can also use this to pull out hydrogen alpha from images, so extract HA and all sorts of things. If you have a filter that's using HA as one of its parts, the HA bandwidth, you can use these. Got to wait for this. It doesn't take long with this PC. It's a bit quick. And it's not. In fact, I'll bring up my task manager, show you what it's actually using. There you go. That's what it's using to of the CPU to actually do the processing. This part of the processing. I use it. I might use it in this video actually. It's not that difficult, to be honest. It's a bit of coding. Right. Will I be using it in this? Possibly, but only for masks. You can use it for doing the HA as well, if you want to. But when I get around to doing the stream, which I show how to do the HA as well, because I haven't got any HA data for this. But when I do that one, then you'll see that I won't use it so much. I'll use it a little bit, but not so much. I'll use other things. So come on, let's go. Right, so now it's doing the master flats. This is just the calibration processes. You can see down here it's calibrating these lights, and it's done the bad pixel math. Calibrated. Tells you what gain you're at, all stuff here. But that's done now. Okay, that's calibrated. Now the next thing you can do. This is the part. Did you see my asteroid video where I found the asteroid in M33? This is what you do now if you want to. Is it at this point? You do it now? No, it's not here. It's a bit later on we do that. Right, so we've calibrated. Now we go to analyze stars, which is, it's not as good as PixInsight's subframe selector. So if I was doing an image here where I wanted to get the best stars and everything spot on, then what I would do is, before I use those lights that I've just used, I would run through, I could do it now, I'd run it through PixInsight subframe selector, and then save the files out that I wanted, which are XISF files, and then convert them back to FITS files, and then come back into APP to do the rest of it. But Analyze Stars works just fine. So we just click Analyze Stars, and this will analyze the stars in the 25 images that we've just processed. But as I said, if you wanted to go up here and click Integrate, and just click the button, Integrate down the bottom, and just do all this in one hit. It's one button. Let's have another look at the first time I've really used this in Angus. Let's have a look at the CPU. Yeah, it gets a bit hungry on the CPU for this this one by the look of it. It's the stars, analyze stars is up around 100%. Wonder if I get any drop frames. Not yet, according to this. What I can do is just drop this down. So I'm using 12 threads. It's not so hungry on the memory, you know, it's not going to steal anything. Or should I say, I'm giving it back to the streaming software. Hopefully it will stop any any drop frames. I don't know what it's doing, to be honest. I haven't really researched it. I'm not. As I said, what I normally do is I go and run it through PixInsight using eccentricity, number of stars, and FWHM in PixInsight. So I do that normally before this stage, but I'm not going to do it on this because I'm pretty sure. Don't know, mate. How do I find that out? This stream? What you mean in? Oh, I've done the modification. Right, so that's analyze the stars. Now we go to register, and what we're doing now is this is going to obviously register star alignment. And I'm not going to touch anything, just going to hit start registration. Okay, and this is pretty quick. There you go, that's registered the frames. Now what you do now, if you want to go asteroid hunting, you do save registered frames. All right, and what this is going to do is save each of the frames out to folder that I chose. Beginning, hold on, bear with me. Right, you can see now it's saving these frames. Just here. Here's the bad pixel map. Master dart flat, master dart, master flat. So the MDF, MD, and MF. Very simple. So what we'll do is, when this is finished, feed these into Blink in PixInsight. And this is where you look for your asteroids. That takes your fancy to do that. So this is probably not as intensive processor. Oh, it is. Oh no, 50, 68%, 83. This is just saving the frames out. I've not blinked. I might have blinked. I don't know. These images were taken a while ago. Oh, I can't remember, to be honest. Let's just have a look, see what the date is on them. The date on them is, it's the 18th of August. I can't remember if these have been blinked or what. I don't know. I don't think they have. As I said, I know they're pretty much okay. So I haven't gone through the checking the frame. I've just fed the lot in. I haven't even looked for star trails. Don't worry about it. And you'll see in a second. Right, so that's finished saving the frames. Now what we'll do is open up PixInsight and we'll run the blink process. You'll see what we have to do. Where are you? There it is. Right, so we open those frames that I just saved. So open those up. And it will probably show up green. Yeah, there we go, it's green. So hit that top. This is going to be green. This is how I found the asteroid. I was looking at my frames, and what you do, once it's finished loading, I've got it on 0.05 seconds. Alright, let's just move the process over there, and I'll do this. What you do is just hit play on the blink, and that's running through. So you can see, if we go through one at a time, there's a satellite trail, okay? There's a satellite trail. Do we have any more? I think there was only a couple. So what you do is you get your blink screen up like this and zoom all the way in to different sectors of the image, and then just hit your play button like that and see if you can see anything moving. This is how I did found the asteroid. You just set it on play and then just start looking around the image, just scrolling around. So there's nothing there, I've already looked. All right. Yeah. So back to APP. We've done the register. Now there's a normalize process and there's a normalize, sorry, and integrate. I won't save normalize lights at this point, or will I? There we go. Quick look at my notes. No, you only save the normalized lights out when you're doing the HA stuff. So I just go to the integrate tab. Come here. Scroll down here, keep everything as default, not touching anything. We do when we do the mosaic, but not at this point. Just hit the integrate button, and I'm just going to call this M31 P1, panel 1, okay? Like that. And click OK. Now that's going to integrate all the images into each other. Was there a variable star? What, in that image I just showed you? Was there an image? I don't know. I wasn't. The one that flashed. I see a lot of those. Oh, okay. We'll have another look in a minute. But that's the sort of fun stuff you can do with APP. It's, as you can see, if you literally go to integrate and press the integrate button here, you do what I've just done with one click of the button after you've added all your frames and walk away. And you can do the stuff like, if you don't do that, then you can save your frames and the registration, and then you'll be able to blink your frames and look for stuff. Oh, we'll have a look in a minute. Okay. Right, so it's actually found it's using 24 frames, so it obviously hated one of them. That's done. Is it done? No, it just did the integration. Now it's doing the integrate. It did the normalization, now it's doing the integrate. The stuff on the right here, I've never ever touched it. Of course, what you can do, if you see something like, you can actually use the blink process to create a video, or use Camtasia or something like that. That will create a video. I've had 61 drop frames here, 0.1%. That's pretty rude, isn't it? I don't know if you noticed it went funny. I don't know. But I've had 0.1% drop frames, 61 drop frames. But I know with the older PC, with the i5, I couldn't have done this. Pretty sure I couldn't, anyway. Uh, 18 out of 25, here we go. Fire up again. You've got to remember, I don't delve too deeply into how all these pieces of software work. I do what works for me. Once I've found the process that works for me, that's where I stop. I don't try and fiddle about too much with things like all this stuff down the right hand side here. No idea what any of that does. What it's doing now is completing its integration. LNC rejection parameters. This is the part that removes the trails from the image. And now it will count up here till it gets to 1 point, what's the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, to 16 million. And then it will be finished. As far as doing a better job than either Deep Sky Stacker or PixInsight is concerned, I think it's pretty comparable, if not better. Definitely easier. More control over what you're doing than Deep Sky Stacker. Same control, I think, over what you're doing as PixInsight, but with PixInsight it gives you, I don't know, I think probably even more control, but do you really need that? Don't know. How are we doing on the process? Check how hard it's smashing my PC. Not too bad. 100% of the processor, but I've only allocated 12 threads to it. There we go. That's done. Now it's loaded the image. There's the image. All right. So that's panel 1. Just there. So that's done. So what we do, the quickest way to do this now is to shut down APP and restart APP. Okay, and as you'll see now what happens, it's saying, please give me the directory. Again, just done that. He has been asked, the developer, to do this so that we don't have to do this every time, but he hasn't listened so far. But here goes, multi-session processing, multi-channel filter processing. Let me show you, I'll just do the CFA. Let me show you what happens if I load images with those buttons ticked. I load the lights from panel 2, which is what we're on now. it's going to ask me what's going on, what am I actually using here. Okay. Of course it's RGB, but I don't really need those tick boxes. And if I leave the buttons tick just on the multi-session process, I don't know if it'll ask me at this point. There you go. See, it asks me what session this is for. So it might be night 2 or day 2. Then you use session 1, 2, 3 with the appropriate flat. But that's what I always get on tick. So have I got the raw and fit? Yeah, we're on that. Okay, that's cool. So we're loading our lights for panel 2. Now we've made it was the same night, so I can use the same flats. And I can use all the same calibration data, but we've already just created master flat, dark and dark flats. So we can come down here and hit master flat because we've just created it. Over here, MF, master dark flat, MDF, and master dark, MD. Right, so that one, it now won't do all that creating those files because they're already there. So we hit calibrate, like this. It might be a little bit quicker. So it's making the bad pixel map, which I could have actually included as well, but now it's making the bad pixel map again, which we've already created. So I could have excluded that as well. There we go. That's calibrated. Analyze stars. Vote register, sorry. Register? No. Stars. 1, 2, 3. Analyze stars. Here we go. Now we'll analyze the stars. Keeping an eye on our processor. You know, this is the first time I've really used this. It seems to smash the CPU a bit hard on that one, doesn't it? That analyze stars. Although it's still pretty quick, and I've still only had 61 drop frames, so I guess that's fine, isn't it? Come on, let's go. That's the stars analyzed. What has it actually done? Setting a new reference frame based on star analysis result. Finish, receive, quite good bit of software. Go to register. Start registration. No, that's good. That's good. I'm glad. That's nice. There we go. That's all the frames registered. And then we'll just hit the integrate button down the bottom to produce our M31 panel 2. Okay, and off it goes. This is at this point what we do next is we shut down APP, restart APP, and then throw the two images together to produce the mosaic, which I know is very what's the word? Some people think it's quite daunting, difficult, can be, but not really. The only time it can get difficult is if you have if you have two images that you're putting together, and the star, you've got a star right on the edge, or stars right on the edge of each image, and you put them together, then you can sometimes get bleed over from the stars, and so then you have to go and crop those stars away, which I've actually seen with APP. I've done quite a few mosaics with this, and I've seen it once. Seen it a lot in PixInsight. It's a real trick to fix them. Anyway, it wouldn't be fun if it was easy, would it? Okay, that's normalized. Now we're integrating. Be back in a couple of seconds. Be right back. All right, I'm back. So, what happened? Still going, eh? No, the integrated pixel part. Let's go to PixInsight. Load up. That image we just did, which is P1. Remember M31 P1? There it is there. So we'll open that one up first. Right, there's your first frame. All right, and PixInsight also does quite an annoying bell noise when it's finished processing, which is okay, but it does get a bit annoying. You can turn it off in the configuration. This is the only configuration you get. And people have nagged him to please, you know, allow us to set default settings, and he hasn't done it to this point. That'll be finished very quickly. There we go. It's done. Now it loads the image in here. At this point, you can go on and you can start messing around with the tools that they give you. So I've used these sometimes, these calibrate background and remove light pollution, but I can do I think I do a better job in PI. So what we've done now is we've created the two images. So we shut down APP again. Bring PixInsight back up, and we'll load that second image in, which was P2. There. And there's the second image. All right. Now we have to stick them together. Now you can see, obviously, there's the overlap somewhere around there. And this is why sometimes it's important to get your rotation right, because as you can see, this one is down here. So this is why if you're going to do a mosaic of something like this, you also need other frames around it, because you'll see why in a second I start going into PI. So what we do now is restart APP. This is the bit you wanted to see, I think. And again, you see how annoying this is. Reset the directory, the folder. All right, this time untick those, and this time you do not force Bayer. If you do, it'll turn your color image into a black and white image. All right, so this time you don't force the Bayer. And what you do now, we've pre-processed the files, and then what we do is we add those 2 frames, or 10 or 12 or 15, back into I've got a cheat sheet. Let's put it over. What we do is we load those 2 frames back into APP as light frames, and it's going to start asking you questions when you do this. All right, now if you've got 2, 3, 5, 10, 15, 20, this is what you do. So you add them in. Now it's going to ask you a question. This frame is a previous integration of light frames. Are you sure you want to load the frames? Yes, is the answer to that one. Okay. And the next job you do is you click Analyze Stars again. Okay. It's only analysing the stars on 2 frames, so it's quite quick. And then we register. So we're going to register. Quadrilaterals you leave, scale stop. You set that to 15. I'm reading off my cheat sheet. I can't remember all this. You use dynamic distortion correction, just there. Same camera and optics, obviously. Right. Registration mode. Hey, look, you got Mosaic. Registration model, leave that as it is. No under overshoot, which is, where is he? There he is. No under overshoot. All right. You do the registration. We're going back up here. We've got everything set. Yeah. You do the registration of the 2 frames. And now we're asked another question. Oh, it's coming. I need bigger motors to turn the declination. They're not strong enough to turn a whole lot. I need to redesign part of the scope to be able to do that. So it's working. It works fine on oh, wait a minute, RA. Yeah. Sorry, it works fine on the altitude. It's not working properly on the azimuth at the moment. But it is coming. We're getting there. So we've got another question. You're starting Mosaic registration mode with same camera and optics enabled. Well, yeah. If you are registering previously created Mosaic panels or data that was already registered by APP, you will need to have this disabled. Do you want disable, same camera and optic? The answer here is no. Strangely enough. And now this is registering the two images to each other. And then the next step what we do is we now save those registered frames. All right. That's one done. Obviously, if you've got 10 panels, this can take quite a while. 2 done. Now what we'll do is we'll open up those 2 images in PixInsight, which are these 2 here, P1 reg and P2 reg, and we'll see what we've got. So that's one side. That's the other side. All right. And basically what it does is it creates a big image of the whole thing and then chops them in half. So, because you need this bigger image, the whole size, to be able to put it together properly. And the last step with APP is to put those 2 files together, which is where you find out if it's going to work. And of course, what we do is we shut down APP again, because this is the fastest way to do it, because I've tried doing it other ways and it tends to I just make a mistake resetting everything. I prefer to restart it. So again, we go back in here, yawn, right, undo that, go back there, leave that unchecked, all right. Actually, I need to redo that because I should have done it all in one go. Shouldn't have restarted APP, my apologies. I'm going to redo what I just did. Reload that. Reload that. Yes. Can't believe I did that. Analyze stars. The overlap, I'll show you why sometimes you need overlap, but the overlap is there. You'll never get the edges. You're going to get frame movement. Especially if you do a big mosaic, it will actually curve. So you need the overlap because each image does this as you put it together. So you need that overlap to take account of all that movement of frames. They're not totally square when you put it together. Okay, let's restart. Right, register settings. Sorry about that. Scale stop. Dynamic distortion. Mosaic. Down the bottom, no under overshoot. No, right. Just going to redo those 2 images. Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know. 40 panel mosaic is quite a challenge because you'll get field rotation as well. The images will actually start to do this. 40 panels. Which is where the expensive rotators come in, because then they keep the panels straight, as it were, as you're moving on to the next panel. It will try to keep those images straight. Save register frames. They'll ask me if I want to overwrite. Yes, I'm going to overwrite. Yeah, that's quite a lot to do that. Right, so without shutting down APP this time, you go up to integrate here. Filter is sigma. So you change integrate automatic. Oh, sorry. No, start that again. Where was it? Yeah. Average. Rejection filter sigma. Kappa high is 1.5. Mode full. Second degree LNC. Local normalization correction. Enable MMB for 11%. Okay. No under overshoot. Everything else standard. No under overshoot. And click integrate. Now let's call this M31 Mosaic. Like that. Click OK on that and it will now stitch those two images together. Hey Astro Canuck, how you doing? I'm just demonstrating how to do mosaics here with going to be using APP and PixInsight. So we started off with APP just to get everything integrated. Then we move on to PixInsight. I'm alright. Surviving. And this is the first stream I've done with a new PC I've got here, so I'm just checking to see how well it's doing. It's holding up all right. That's good. APP is good if you use it for what I'm doing here, which is mosaicing. It's pretty good on the other stuff as well, but I tend to move on and use PixInsight from this point onwards when it's created the main image. I don't know how long you've been here, but we got these were the two images, the two panels of M31. Okay, so it's created those two panels, and then the next stage is it creates the full-size image with the two panels inside it, and the next stage is it puts them together, which is what should be coming up very shortly. Right, so that's done the mosaic now. It's done. Okay. A little bit odd coloured, but we can fix that. Strangely enough, I tried this the other night and it didn't produce those funny colours. Anyway, shut that down, go back to PixInsight and find the M31 mosaic we just created. And there it is. There's the mosaic that's been created from those two images. As you can see, it's got a few bits and pieces need doing to it, and this is where you need the overlap from the images, because these were taken on the same night, yet we've got significant overlap here where it's actually chopped out top and bottom here. So the first thing you need to do, obviously. Yeah, I know, it's weird, isn't it? So what we can do here is we'll just do a dynamic crop on this. I don't know if you're familiar with PixInsight. I'm just using a dynamic crop. Just pull out the wrap. Probably going to do it. Box is over on the other screen. There we get the tip box, and that's cropped it. So there's M31 Mosaic together. Easy peasy. But as you can see, it's a bit sort of widescreen, isn't it? It needs more panels, which I am in the process of making if the weather ever improves. So I've got more panels up here all around it so that it's more of a sort of more of a balanced image. There is also a lot of hydrogen alpha around this as well, which I'm trying to also pull out. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to load up my process icons. Just there. Yeah. So what I do now is I'll run DB. I can't see any green here, so I'm going to run dynamic background extraction on this image. It hasn't actually. Interesting. That should have produced preset set of images. Maybe it's changed where I've let's subtract. And the settings. I don't know why it's not got me squares. That's why. Ah, these things love to try us, don't they? Right. There we go. That's working now. It was actually applying them to the wrong image. One of these it was applying it to. So there's the DBE. Now what I'll do now is I just run the DBE process on the image. I don't use automatic. He's lazy. So we shut that down and unstretch and restretch. There you go. There's the DBE run on the image. Okay, so you start to get quite good already. And what should we run? We do a bit of noise extraction. For noise extraction, what I do is I use Dark Archon's Easy Processing Suite. I use this Easy Denoise. Okay, but before I do this, I'm going to save that where I am at the moment. Okay. Just going to use Easy Denoise. Don't know. I always do it like this. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not sure. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to okay, so why are you not giving me the option to create to run it? 31 Mosaic, yeah. I don't want to create my. Now I want to. I don't want to create the mask. I want to do the whole thing. This worked before on my other PC. This is the first time I've used this. All of a sudden it's saying, okay, tick the box. Okay, run easy denoise. There we go. This will run an easy denoise process and probably drive my processor crazy. As I've got PixInsight set to use everything. Oh, it's at 100%. Bloody hell, look, that's thundering that up there. Yeah, you're probably right. That, you know, each image has got different things, but I'm just doing it the way I always do it. So I try not to kind of mess about. I know what I'm looking for, and when I see it, then I'm happy. I'm not happy with that amount of processor being used, though, by this process. Bloody hell. I've got to get drop frames in a minute. It's got to happen. Because I've got the settings in PixInsight set to use the whole thing. Yeah, automatic. I don't know. I haven't used automatic for a long time, to be honest. What you will find is the bigger the mosaic, the longer these processes will take. So I did 15 panels on Cygnus Loop, and on my other PC, the i5, it took over an hour to just do this one process. We'll buzz through this and see how we go. Getting any more? No, I'm not getting any more drop frames. All right, surviving. Just have a look at the temp. What's it running at? 54 degrees. So the load is up there, not 100% according to that, and it's the CPU's at 54, so that's okay, that's fine. TGV mask, the mask masks out. I can't show you at the moment because it's processing. Obviously, the mask is protecting everything but the background on the image, and TGV denoise is just a process. It's one of the denoising processes. You can use that or MLT, multi-scale linear transform. They'll fix the noise as well. It's just another denoising process that Dark Archon decided to make his script with. But you'll see in a minute what the noise is like. We can show before and after as well, I think, on one of the images. Although there wasn't much noise there to begin with, I don't think. Still only 61 drop frames. That's good. This is easy processing suite that Dark Archon from Nina, one of the Nina devs, wrote. So basically, I don't touch the settings. I click one button and it does what it does. Yeah, this is what it is. This is the easy denoise script that's running here. Click one button, away it goes. Don't need to worry about it. Of course, it gets a little bit sort of tedious when you're waiting for this. And as I said, if you do this on a big image, it can take forever. That mosaic I did of Cygnus Loop was 4 meters by 3 meters in physical size. If you gave the file to a printer and said print that out as it is, it would come out of 4 by 3 meters. It's crazy. Right, I'll be back in 2 secs. Just going to put the kettle. That's exactly what I've got. How did you guess? Now it's having to do channel 1. Oh, this is a slow job. So it's got to do channel 0, channel 1, and I think channel 2 after that. I don't know why I'm wearing those. A big enough screen in front of me. I shouldn't need that. Ah, nice. So it shouldn't take long, he says. Just watching the frame. The stream seems stable, so we're good doing it like this. I don't want to take anything away from Fixed Insight if I can help it. So what we're doing is the process DBE, easy TGV, denoise, whatever you call it. Then I'll do photometric color calibration. Then I'll stretch it. And then we do the fun stuff with the color to make the pretty picture. Or I'm going to do some star masks as well. I'm going to do probably three masks. It's about 10 degrees, 10, 11 centigrade. It's just okay. It's just bloody horrible. Windy and raining. All sorts. Not much at all. So just have to grin and bear it. I have to work in it as well, remember. So luckily, touch wood, the last few weeks it's not rained on a Monday or Friday when I'm busy. I was really busy yesterday as well. It didn't rain yesterday either, but it's been pouring down all day today. Not that cold just yet. It's just rain. I mean, awful. It's the Netherlands. That's what it's like here. Rain, rain, and more rain.
Just like England.
If you're lucky, then you get some more rain. Well, I keep going to put these on, but I really don't need them for this screen. This is on a 33-inch screen I've got in the middle of the desk. I don't actually need it on that front. How are you? I assumed you were Canadian by the name. But hey, okay. I obviously come from England. Been stuck here. Well, no, I've been stuck here for 12 years. I live here, but I also have a house in England, which I've been able to get back to since bloody June 2019, thanks to, well, we all know why. Oh, okay, you are Canadian. I thought you. Yeah, it's not nice. It's cold. Okay. All right. Well, I have been able to get back to England since June 19, as I said. And even if I can go back, but if I go back, I've got 2 weeks quarantine over there. So what's the point? I can't go out. I can't do anything, technically. And then when I get back here, I've got to then quarantine for another 10 days. So I can't make the trip. So I'm staying at work. So yeah, it's all okay though. Just a bloody yank. Come on, this is always a long process. I don't think it matters what processor you have. This is always not exactly the fastest one out the box. As I said, when I did this on my 15-panel Mosaic, it took hours to run. Hey, you're not in zone 3. You're not a locked down zone there, are you? I think that's mainly up north, bloody everybody north of bloody Watford. You heard good things about Third Rock, bloody hell. How much did you pay him? Third Rock? Oh, are you? Oh, okay. God. That's, oh, I don't know what it is. I can't really pay attention to what's going on in England too much. I have to pay attention to what's going on here. That's it. Over here, we are, everything is, well, no, not everything. Places are, like restaurants, are locked down until December now. Oh, that'd be nice, yeah. Of course, you'd have to set the telescope up on the grounds. I don't think it would work on a boat. Well, the restaurants and bars are closed until December now. You don't have to wear masks in shops, although pretty much everybody does. You have to wear masks on buses, on public transport. I have to wear them at work for what I do. But it's all just a bloody pain in the arse to me, you know. Yeah, our restaurant at work shut. They're only open for takeaways. Which hits them quite hard, you know. You're looking at 5 to 8k a day lost revenue to that, just in that place, without all the rest. Of course, that's all that tax that isn't being paid to the Dutch government. So it hits hard at the end of the day. And we've had one corona case and one suspected on where I work as well. So it's not nice at all. So it's not staff. It wasn't staff. It was a member of the public that was there with it. Just gets on my nerves a bit, you know. Trouble is they can't lock down, you know, because it'll destroy the economies. Thinking about it, I think I come through Essex every time I come to my house. My house is up in Lincolnshire, so I'm driving up that way. Yeah, I am. I think Stansted. Yeah, I would stick, as long as you can doing that, I would stick at it, because it's really not it's not nice being around. It's all right being around the people that I work with, because I know they are, you know, paying attention. It's everybody else, and that's who, you know, you have to worry about. Get rid of the customer, we'll be happy. Really? I thought there'd be more houses for sale. I don't don't know. I just, yeah, I guess the housing market's been stagnated by all this, hasn't it? I guess people just aren't moving, so they're not selling, so there's nothing for sale. Yeah, that's logical. Yeah, I get aggravated quite quickly at work with people that don't sort of follow the regulation. I had some guy who came up to talk to me. He's walking towards me, so I'm walking backwards. And in the end, after I walked back about 6 steps, I put my hand down and said, "Stop. You know, stay away from me, please. You want to talk to me? 1.5 meters. You don't have to get in my face." Bloody hell, really? I wonder what this calculated noise estimation means. Does not include multiplier. 0.00000654. Nothing, is it? Guess. Well, New Mexico's probably the place to go if you can find the right place that's not near any light pollution. Nice, it's good. Be good there for that, I think. All right, so we're 25% through channel 2. I'm pretty sure this is the longest process we have to run on this. I know it's very sings you to sleep kind of thing, but nah, I think this is the longest one. Once you've done this, then the rest should go quite quickly. We'll get onto the photometric and then the histogram transformation to stretch the image in a minute. I won't do should I do deconvolution? No, I'm not going to do deconvolution. Not on this, not now. This was quite a test on how the mosaic works. As you can see, it stuck the image together okay. You can't see the join. The join is down here somewhere. Can't see it. You're not allowed to go to Portal 2. That's too good. You need to struggle in Portal 7 for a while longer. What you could do, if it is really Portal 2, you know, I mean, down, you know, it won't. Will it be that down to the horizon? I'm not sure. What you could do if you've got that much ground is to actually rent observatories, or rent space, or rent the time on a scope, or whatever. You could try that, but that's a big old minefield. There, very niche market. Yeah, I'll have it. Yeah. Come on, channel 2, 50%. Come on. Not sure what all those numbers mean. That calculated noise estimation. Does that mean there's hardly any noise in the image? 0.0000654? I guess. I don't know. I'll have to ask Dark. That would work. It would actually work. Yeah, you just build a dome on the top. Put in, would you need a false floor? No, you wouldn't. No, I'm not sure. You need to do something, wouldn't you? Yeah, I would think it is. Anyway, I always run this denoise. If it's no good, then we can obviously go back, discard the changes. This is the one problem with streaming your processing, is that even with a fairly fast PC, it still takes long, so you've got to keep talking for, how long's it been going, 10 minutes, 15 minutes? Which I don't mind doing, no? I just, hang on, what's the date? It's coming up till the end of October, isn't it? It's nearly Christmas again. You not got your scope yet, Third Rock? Is he still messing with it? October's nearly finished. You told me October. Yeah, that'll work. Very nice. Now, temp. I want to check the process as well. Still only got 61 drop frames, and I'm actually, you know, this process is being totally hammered, but the memory's okay. Let's have another look at temperatures. Yes, but there's still only 54 degrees centigrade on the process. That's right. Let's have a look at this. Have a look at open hard memory. Yeah, 54 degrees on the temperature. All right, isn't it? Joys of water cooling, I guess. So 92%. Oh, come on. Watch pot never boils, does it? A zygo interferometer. Sounds expensive. You need to get one. You need to do something, because how are you going to fiddle? There's nothing to fiddle with refractors. Okay, now it's doing a multi-scale median transform on the image. Whatever that does. It's just smoothing the layers. Quite fast. Or faster. Yes. Well, it'll be nice when you get it, won't it? Be able to, you know, you won't have any with. This is quite a small form scope, isn't it? So it's not like you're sticking a whopping great Newtonian on that mount. Right, okay, so there's the image done with the noise removed, if there was any to start with. I'm just going to shut down these images. We don't need these anymore. Fit in there. Okay, so that's denoised. Let's have a zoom in. And yeah, the noise, it's pretty much nothing to worry about, I don't think. What should we do now? Let's do photometric color calibration, which I've actually switched to using, Third Rock. I know you talked about it a while ago, and I said, no, use this. But I've actually moved over to using it. So it just gets a little bit fiddly. So we need to search coordinates. I don't know if you guys have ever used this. Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? So do the photometric color calibration. So it's M31. I need to get the coordinates for the image. Now the thing, excuse me, the thing that's fiddly with this is setting the. Don't worry about any of that stuff. Is actually finding the focal length. My pixel size is 1.08, so I'm just going to put 1. My actual focal length of my telescope, with all the bits and pieces that are on it, is actually 908. But I'm pretty sure if I run this, it won't actually solve the image. And you need to solve the image. So hello, Ark. Which sub would you like me to... Hang on. Oh yeah, I could do. I could do that, but I'll do it on... This is fine. I'm just going to show you what happens if you run this without fiddling about with focal length. This is always a bit of a mystery. Oh, it's actually worked. Okay, fair enough. So it's solving. It's doing the solving now. Which the other reason I like using this is it actually builds in coordinates data into the image. So if you've got an image with lots of galaxies floating around in there, you can actually identify those galaxies when you've finished, which is nice. And another multi-scale media transform. Are we done? Not yet. This is a bit quicker than the introduction though. Digging around and validating the image, I guess. Yeah, I know. And you said to me about using color calibration back then, and I was like, no, I'll just do it this way. I forget what I was doing. Autocolor or something like that. And I've come back to it. So shut that down. There's the photometric color calibration done. So unstretch, restretch. There it is. And I'm just going to shut down these images. We don't need these anymore. So that's with nothing done to any of the color or anything like that. So what I'll do now is I'll stretch it. So we turn off the auto stretch, and very simply the way I stretch an image is just using histogram transformation. Click that tick so it selects the correct object if there's more than one loaded, and just put on the real-time preview. I just pull these sliders. Like that. Now the one you have to be watchful of is this shadows. If you do this with it, a lot of people do this, and it's totally wrong. You're clipping your blacks. You're clipping 161% here, so I try to keep that around about there where it just starts kicking in. on the shadows. Then we'll do a bit more of a stretch there. Let's zoom in, take a preview of that. Obviously, I don't want to do that because that's not what I want. I don't want to do that. I'm trying to get a balance between the detail and overblowing it. I think it's about there. Click the square button and that'll stretch it. And click that. Shut that down. Shut that down. And there's your non-linear image now, with nothing else done to it. Zoom in. Yeah, fine. Just checking here. I should have checked this earlier that I haven't got anything funny going on with the star registration. No, it's fine. So what else has Dark Archon got to offer us here? Easy HDR, easy live stretch, soft stretch and star reduction. I'm not going to run any of those just yet. What I'm going to do is create some masks. And the first one I will create is star mask using StarNet. Just going to keep it at default. Now what I do here, if you don't do this, what happens is it removes all the stars from this image. So you need to now create a second image to run the StarNet process on and create star mask as well. Drag that over there. It's going to take... Oh, okay. I'll have a look at that in a second. This is going to run the star mask up using StarNet. Which I've modified. I don't know if you guys are... No, we're not doing that. I don't know if you guys have done the that use PI have done the modification to your PI to use the GPU. If you can see here, this is actually using the GPU to actually do the processing on the star mask, which is supposed to speed it up a bit. What does that stride mean? Is it just basically going to more, it's going to dig in harder into the different layers of the image? Well, I've had no bloody frame dropouts yet, Ark, so I don't want to push it too hard. But 61 drop frames in about an hour. So I don't know what I'm using. I don't know, Ark. I just load this stuff up and start using it. Thanks for the follow, guys. And I really need to fix that so it shows the followers correctly on the screen. Oh, wait, it's doing that. Oh, that worked. Did that work? No, it didn't work. Oh well. Never mind. You want me to kill my stream, Mark? Okay, so there's the star mask. All right. That's the star mask created. Shut down that. How long did that take? 2 minutes 31 for a 2-panel mosaic. So not too bad. So there's the star mask that we created. What I do now is I'll rename this star mask just as SM. It's simpler to use if we get into using pixel math in a bit. right? And there's the image with everything removed. Now this is handy to use if you're using hydrogen alpha. You need to get everything off apart from the hydrogen alpha, but that's what you're left with. And I'm not really, people that know me know I'm not really into starless images. They're not, I mean, they're not true to what we're looking at. So that's the image there. We've got the star mask. The next mask I am going to make, which we make. Let's try a range mask. Where are you? So everything's changed on a different screen. I understand. So this is using range selection to make a mask. See, what you do when you make masks is you've actually got probably in all images 3 things to worry about: the background, the stars, and the actual image, or the galaxy, or the nebula, whatever you're working on. Sometimes you have to create separate masks to protect those areas, so that when you make a modification to improve the stars, perhaps, you don't do things to the nebula or the galaxy. So this is range selection. Going to be fine for that. We want to work on the background, which we won't want to do, to be honest. Down. Re-identify this RM range mask. Right, so what I'll do now, so I'm just going to have a look at what the image looks like with the range mask actually on it. Do that, yeah. And then we'll invert the mask and see what it's actually protecting with this range mask. It seems to be protecting a lot of the stars, which is okay. We're going to invert the mask. Hide the mask. What should we have a play with now? Let's have a go at a bit of this, a bit of curves. Actually, no. Thinking about it, let me just shut that down. I'm just going to do this. This is quite an impure way of doing stuff. We just want to have a little mess with this on the blue channel. If you play around with this, you can sometimes make the image a bit more personal, but no, I'm not going to do that. Change my mind. Let's go back to curves. And put it on saturation. That, and then just tick that and just ramp this up, see where it goes. There we go. That's by putting the curves transformation right near the top. That. Sorry, I haven't been reading the chat box. I've been concentrating on my screen there. Yes, I do that sometimes. We can do that. Oh, do you? Okay. No, you can tell me where your stream is if you like. I can't even. It was 5 months since I streamed last before this or tonight. I don't know if you can post a link, but if you want to jump into my Discord and post it in there, you can do, or PM it to me in here. I'll find it somehow and throw the link in here if you stream as well. So there's that done. Schmiggles. Yes, it's been a while. Mainly due to the amount of work I've been having to do, and obviously at work with all the bloody stuff that's going on in the world, and I've just been getting home and I have been imaging. I mean, these were taken in August, these images, but I haven't had the inclination to stream with all the work that I've been doing. I've been a bit tired, so I've been imaging and falling asleep. Because when I image, it's a 5 to 9 hour job, so I was getting home, I just didn't have the energy. And also the PC, I've got a new PC here, so things are a bit better now. Oh, is it twitch.tv/AstroCanuck? Does that work? So anyway, that's the curves done. Now, if you click the square box on this, what it will do is it will put those curves on, and then it will show you what the preview is like if you do it again. Okay, mate, cool. Oh, it did work. It worked for third roll. Look, he did it. But we're not going to go any further than that. We're just going to leave it like this. And shut it down. And then I'm going to HDR this image. So for the HDR, which is actually no, I'm not going to use Dark Archon script for this. We're going to leave that mask on. I'm going to go to processes and with ceramic equalization. Yes, it is. That one there. Oh, look, isn't that beautiful? Wind that up around here. Drop the amount down to about 0.3. I'll tell you what. Oh, that's actually looking what you said to me earlier, that there actually is 2 different brightnesses on the images. Now, when I did this before, I didn't get that. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I didn't read what you said. I've just spotted it. But when I did the same image before, where is he? I've done this image before, and I didn't get that problem. Weird, isn't it? I wonder, I'll tell you what it might have been. I think I might have DBE'd both images before I did the mosaic. I think I might have processed them separately. I think I might have processed the images separately before I mosaic them together. That must have been what I did. But the whole point of this was to actually show the mosaic process, which is fine. There's a bit of local histogram equalization. I tend to go a bit crazy on the numbers here. So I go down to 0.3 on the amount and about 300 kernel radius. That'll apply that. The image. I think I DB'd both panels separately. Then did all the noise reduction and that stuff separately on each image before I made the mosaic. That must have been what I did. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Right, let's just have a look at this process here, which is, where is it? Everything's moved since, that's what I ran. Oh, what's the name of the bloody next process I run? Everything's moved with this bigger screen. Local histogram equalization. HDR. That was it. It used to be over here, now it's down here. It's all changed position. Let's just grab a preview. I know 6 is going to be too hard. Put that over there on 8 layers. Don't know. Nah, let's leave it as it. That's right. So, next job is going to be pull off that mask. There's the start mask. We'll try that over there to see what this is actually protecting or not protecting. It's protecting anything, is it? No. Came back. It moved it, didn't it? Just going to do a test here on star color. Is it actually giving? Oh yes, it's doing some star color over there and see what happens to the stars. Yeah, we're getting a bit of star color coming in. Just need to be a bit careful what we do here with things, because it's this point here you can kind of blow things away. Okay, that's not too bad. And pull off the mask again. Remove the mask. I don't think it's to do with the HA. I think it's you get these odd things sometimes happen where you get different strength in the panel, and I've seen it before. And the only times it's actually happened before was when I didn't process the separate images before I mosaic, because once you throw them together, any changes you make are done to the whole image. So if you've got a slightly different brightness on one of the images, you're then stuck with this. But it's no problem. we do now? Just want to try range mark back on. A lot of this stuff when you get here is a lot to do with trial and error. I just want to have a look at something. We do this. Let's just see what this. Didn't think they would. You can make it a bit blue if you want. That actually shows up the differences in the two panels quite a lot. That's okay. That shows it up quite pronounced. Okay, so I'm going to hit that. It's annoying me now. It's quite annoying. What's happening there? Reset. This is the C component I'm adjusting here. Throw that. That's not your fault, Art, because I show you the previous image that I did. Well, I showed you it in Discord, didn't I? And then the last thing that I'll do, remove the mask. We will go and do. What I'll do is I'll drag that down there so I've got a copy. Because I'm always a bit careful about removing stars, but what we'll do is we'll run Dark Archon's star reduction script on this. Which will be clone 1. And we'll run easy star reduction on that just to see if it's any different with the stars removed or dimmed down a little bit. We'll be back in a few minutes while this runs. I'll be back. I'm back. What was said? Yeah, it is quite annoying. But anyway, that is as far as I'm going to take this, but I'm not finished yet. This is with the stars removed, so I'm just going to put that up there, and that one up there. That's with no star. Keep that. Shut down that. Oh yeah. Shut down that. I go back here. I'm going to do a test here. Delete all. And I'm going to load up those two registered images. Right, which this was the original two images, which were stretched. This section, I don't want them like this. These are not the ones I want. The original images, the not just the bits files, not the reg ones. Okay. Open those. Okay, there's our two original images. What I'm going to do is correct these before I run the Mosaic process. So, first job I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch these, not stretch, I'm going to crop them. I'm going to get rid of the crap before I start. This is just a test. So you're going to run dynamic crop on these images. Move that over. What I'll do is crop that one like that. This is why you need the 20% bird rock. All right. All right. And then what you do, once you set that, you take that triangle, drag it over that image. That crops that. And then hit the tick mark, and that will crop that. That's removed all the nastiness from those two images. Now what I'll do is I'll run DBE on these separate images. Like that. Remove, I'll tell you what. The DBE around the outside on those. If we move it. The other image that I did, which I showed you, I was a little bit more particular about where these squares were, so possibly that could have worked against us as well. I'm going to run the DBE on that one. Right. Now we'll run, we'll save that. E1 DBE. Oh yeah. Okay, it's whatever. And now we'll do the same DBE on this cropped image. Just being careful where our squares are. We'll run that on there. Put that down. Correct it. Okay. Now I'm going to run photometric color calibration on the separate images as well before we add them back into Mosaic. That's funny. So it'll just be an image of you with your head. Is that right? Through your camera? Wear a blue hat as well. So what I'm going to do is photometric color these two images. Where are you? There he is. So I already got it. 9081. Let's make that over there. See if it actually solves the image. No, it's not solving it, see? Hates it! Let's drop that to 500. And it still hates it. Oh no, it solved it. There we go. So half an image, isn't it? So half the focal length. Blue shirt, blue hat. There you go. It might well have a little bit of tilt. But let's see what this does once I get through this, resetting this and see what we've got. What are you using to Mosaic, Arc? Right, so that's done the photometric color calibration on that. So he's going to save that file. Yes, yes. Now we're going to run the photometric color calibration on that one as well, separately. Does that do mosaics? I thought Arc used still. You could do mosaics with work. Interesting to know. Or are you doing them by eye? Because I'm going to show you in a minute how you do it with APP, if it will work after I've done these changes. Sure. I'm going to find out in a minute. Right, so there's the photometric color calibration, DBE and crop done on these two images. So we'll save this one. So it's going to be the M31. Wait a minute. Save that. M32 crop and DBE. That will do as an identifier. Like that. Right. Shut that down. Shut down. Get rid of that. That leaves too much open and we'll get terribly confused with all this. Reload APP and you'll see what a pain in the arse it can be when you load it up. Oh look, it's asking us to create the directory again. This is the only thing with APP. It's you've got to. It doesn't save any of this stuff. Your settings, it doesn't save. That's fine. That's fine. Put it on RGB. Load the two lights, which was that one and that one. Yes. Analyze stars. 2 images. Very fast it is. I've heard about that photostatic collage thing. Right, so that's the stars analysed. Then we go to register. So register those 2 images together. Scale stop 15. Same camera and optics. Use dynamic distortion correction. Excuse me. Registration mode Mosaic. No under overshoot. Those 2 will now. No, we don't want to disable same camera and optics. Go away. Right, let's register them. Next job is we go up to the integrate button. Integrate average. Right, quality filter sigma. Kappa high 1.5. Mode full. Yes, we're set on full. 2nd degree LNC. Enable MBB. No under overshoot. No under overshoot. And click on. Actually, no. We need to go back to register. Did the start registration, didn't I? So I need to save these registered frames. Can't remember if I did it. Did I do it? Tell me. Just want to look in the folder to see where these were saved. That one there. There. Let's have a look in site. Those 2 files with the reg after that. But with that one there. That one there. There we go. Right. Carry on with APP. Go to integrate. That was the settings, didn't I? Yeah. Click integrate. And so it was M31. Second try. Second try Mosaic. We'll have a look in a second, see what it actually does. This will be quite fast. We'll have a look. There'll be a big long tooltip on it telling you what it does. I wonder if we can look at it. Where did you look? Diffraction protection. Which you were meaning? There you go. There's a big old tooltip. This is a new concept with the purpose to prevent rejection artifacts at the starboard. There's a lot of information this guy builds into his tooltips. So there you go. An extra benefit is that this feature compensates for the well-known artifacts of Windsor Sigma clipping. So with diffraction protection enabled, Windsor Sigma clipping can be used perfectly if you want to combine data of different telescopes with different diffraction artifacts. I think that said. Okay, that's now combined those two images together. And you see that. I don't know. Interesting. Second try. So I'm going to go through this quite fast without explaining a lot. A little bit. Right, so crop it. Right, yeah. I'll go through this quite quickly. Crop. DBE. Again, I'll move that away from those stars. Yeah. Right, run DBE. Okay, so yeah, we'll see in a minute, Ark. I'm not sure yet, mate. So unstretch, restretch. I'm not going to do the I don't know. I'm not going to do the noise reduction because that took too long. I'm just going to dive straight into. Should we photometric color calibrated again? No, it's already been done. No, wait a minute. Let's check. No, I'm going to color calibrate again. Time reset the thingy. Focal length. Put that over there. Let's see if it solves it. If you have got coordinates set on your image and you do anything to the positioning of the image, it destroys the coordinates. But I don't know about the other fast rotation. I never use it. I just, unless I really need to. If this was in at a funny angle, then I'd rotate it. You have to. If you're framing properly, you have to rotate the camera. So otherwise, you'll just be totally out of whack. It will plate solve an image, but you won't be actually photographing what you really want to photograph. Come on. Yeah, you can do. You can then you can add a layer in after it, but I like to use this. I like to use it. It's fast enough. But I have been using it on my past images. So I read that it actually tries to return the proper colors to the image. Right. Okay. So that. I'm not going to do the background noise because there isn't hardly anything in it anyway, I think. Do the stretch. I know you like to use arcs in H, don't you, Mark, for your stretching? I always do it like this. Works for me. Stretch that. Shut that down. Reset that. Oh, you'll be able to rotate, no problem. Or buy yourself a moonlight, what they called? Moonlight, can't think of the name, but they're about that big. And they cost $3,000. Let's make a mask. I'm just going to do this very quickly now. Different way of doing a mask. Yeah, I know you like your arcs in egg, mate. You do it again? Oh yeah, we'll do it again. Right, one mask, complete with stars. Not too worried, just need to check. Show mask, and then we'll do a preview over that whole thing. And curves. Right. There we go. I think that looks a little bit better. I think that looks more balanced. Does that look better, Mark? I think. Does that look a bit more balanced? Yeah, no, yeah, that's it. The Moonlight Nightcrawler, that's the one. Lovely bit of kit. Yeah, so that's what must have been what I did previously when I did the image that I showed you. I did that about 6 weeks ago, about 2 months ago, and I must have done that. You know what you're like. You know what it's like. You do so much of this processing, you forget what you've done. Especially at the beginning of a mosaic, it won't actually. A lot of this stuff I do using a project, and I don't. Obviously, the project doesn't save those steps where you're backwards and forwards in and out your mosaicing. So that's better. Okay. All right. That was quite simple, wasn't it? Right, now what I'm going to do. Let's throw that stretch onto the main image. Somewhere up there, wasn't it? Yeah. That'll work. You need a cheat. I've got lots of them. I have to. I mean, there's so many settings and so many things that you adjust through the course of a, especially doing this. That I can't remember all the settings, so I do actually have a cheat. I actually have the Pix Insight Mosaic process as well, but I just wanted to show this process. There we go. That's looking a bit better. Now what we'll do is I'm going to create a star mask. On, please. Like that there. Come up there. Create star mask. Yes. Create star mask. I think Ark's the expert on pixel math. I know what $T is. It means do nothing, I think. The only stuff I do in Pix Insight is generally minuses and pluses where I'm adding masks together, which I can show you if you like. Pixel math is quite a huge subject on its own, I think. And really, you don't need to use pixel math for the HA and the O3. You can use MB RGB combination. Which is, I'm not sure if it's a script or a process in Pix Insight. I think it's a script. And that works well. A who? Who? Is it, how do you say that? Who? Or who? Or just HOO? Show you something. Right, here's a star mask. So what I'm going to do is just going to throw that star mask. Not that image. And what was it you were saying, Mark, about star mask? And you were saying use pixel math to do something, weren't you? Was it with using this one and this one, or using the one with the stars in this one? You said to do something. I can't remember what. But there is a way of doing it. Or what you can do is, if you wanted to work on this without the stars, you can use this this clone here, which has had most of the stars removed, and then do a bit of work on that. So you've got your stars here, right? So if I was to rename this, just to make it easier to remember what to use, and then we'll just call this M31, right? This and this separately using pixel math. So are we seeing any red in there? What I can do here is to go to script, utility, color mask, right? Click on the red. Click OK. What it's going to do is it's going to create a color mask. There you go. Now, when I used the HA, well, not on the other image that I did with HA, there was a lot more here. So we can drag that over there. That's just showing what it thinks is red. We go to curves. Whop that up there like that. Do you see how it's brought out more of that redness? All right. Hit square. Cut that down. All right. And then what we'll do is we'll go color saturation. And that color there, which is that sort of orangey color. Just there. Just bump. Bit too much. There we go. Try that. This is bluey color, I think. Now we'll add a bit to the blue. All right. Take off that mask. Now on the stars, we ramp up the star color. I'm going to do that twice. Okay. Now what you do, hoping this will work. Process, pixel math. All right. Destination, I want to create a new image. And literally I'm just going to go M31 plus stars. Okay. Nope, that grab. There you go. That's rebuilt that image using pixel math from the star mask that you created, where you worked on the stars, and the actual galaxy itself. So does that look better, Art, with the colouring? I think that looks better, doesn't it, guys? Than what we had before. And of course, you can also keep going with it. I haven't done any sharpening, so we're going to show you some sharpening. I'm not sure if actually I'm going to do the sharpening on the whole image, not just the galaxy. So you've got two ways of doing this: MLT sharpening or unsharp mask. Is it a bit too much for you, mate? A bit too bright, or sorry, a bit too many stars, or too much color in the stars? Okay, yeah, I'm with you, but I'll leave it like that at the moment. All right, but it's fixed the differences in the panel brightness, hasn't it? I think. Leaning back. Yeah, they are a bit big, aren't they? So we could have reduced the stars. Yeah, let's go back. All right, let's just shut that down. All right, and I wonder if I can do. Are you two doing it deliberately? That's funny. Anybody else want to chime in, make a deciding vote? Did you see what I did with with Pixel Math though, Third Rock? It's literally, I renamed. A lot of the times you get the identifiers on these panels can be like crazy, like M31 DBE cropped, plus a bit of this, plus a bit of that. But if you rename it, change the identifier to something easy like stars and M31, then you just go into Pixel Math and you just put M31 plus stars. And you change the destination to be create new image. And away it goes. It creates a new image, adding those two images together, which is actually pretty clever stuff. As fast as that, you've got your image. Yeah, if you look what I do, I just right click the image identifier, and I just changed it from what it was, which was like a long name, M31 DBE cropped whatever, to just to M31. Or you could even put just 1 and 2 for the stars. And then you just go back into PixInsight and do 1 plus 2. And that's all I did. And you got to remember what I did for the image here. I actually used a color mask on it as well to mask out the redness here. So I brought out the redness on its own and then added the stars back in. Now whether I can, let's just keep that. Oh, just wondering, this is, I just undo this curve transformation, 2 that I did on these stars. Wonder if we can do a star reduction on the star mask using easy processing suite. Wonder if that'll work. Gonna be a laugh, isn't it? You got one here called stars. Median is lower than 0.1. Unlikely this is a linear image. This script only works on non-linear. Unlikely this is a linear image. This script only works on non-linear images. So if it's not a linear image, that means it's a non-linear image, and the script only works on. Yeah, okay. Let's just run that. See if it does it. See if it will actually star reduce our star mask. This is going to be interesting, isn't it, guys? The star reduction on our star mask. Okay. Just for you, Arc. Okay. I know it's Dark Archon's confused. I'll have to tell him about that. The panels have to be shot at the same exposure time. I would say if you're doing one-shot color, just one-shot color, yes. But if you're doing one-shot color and HA, or you're trying to do mono with RGB, then I would shoot the RGB at the same exposure time. But the HA and the O3, different exposure times. Because generally I think when you're using an HA filter on a mono camera, then you need longer exposure times to get the extra HA through. But for the one-shot color, I always use the same exposure time for everything. But I think if I was using the one-shot color with the L enhance that I have, then I could use a longer exposure time for that filter to get more of whatever it's showing me through the HA and the O3. I know, mate. It's going to be fun, isn't it? See what happens. Maybe it will give us a black image. Or I could see, this is the great thing about all this PixInsight. There's so many ways around you can do it. I could run star reduction on the main image and then split them, or I could run what else did I run? There we go. Has it reduced the stars? Let's let's go back. Let's just zoom in a little bit. I'll undo the process. Let's see if it's made them smaller. Yes, it does. Yeah, we've got hang on, let's just do this. Oops, no, not like that. Yes, it does. You can run you've got a dedicated star mask generator. And with the star mask generator, then you run morphological transformation, which I could run on this as well now, which may or may not work. Let's just try it. This is morphological transformation. You run on 7 elements. That button there. Try morphological selection. Drag him there. Nah, made no difference. Oh no, that's no good, is it? Yeah, funny, working the opposite. I'm sure that star mask is actually, I'm sure StarNet has actually, or the star reduction process there has actually fixed it. For sharpening, yes, I can run unsharp mask on it. No different. Okay, let's run MLT sharpening that image. What it's doing is it's bringing the stuff out from behind, so it might just run it on there. Just run that MLT sharpening on that. Okay, I will in a minute. Hang on, mate. Go back to Pix Insight and Pixel Math. Add the two together. Don't know. Seems to have added a lot of crap in it doesn't need, to be honest. No. Yeah. Right, again. I think that's the way we're going to go. It has reduced the stars a little bit. Okay. Now we'll do the colours. That was ramping that right up there, wasn't it? Doing it. It's not be so hard on that twice. Right. Pixel Math. There you go. I think that's a bit better. Yeah, that's alright. And just go into curves. Change the contrast just a little bit. That, yeah, it's getting back to what I'd done before. So it's okay. That's better, isn't it? Yeah, that is better, isn't it? It's funny that we could use the reduced stars on the star mask. But when starring it twice, it's quite complicated. Right, I wonder if we can get some bit more of the bluey. I don't know. Right, I'll leave that there for a second. I'm gonna go make another cup of coffee. I think. Need to wake myself up a little bit. I'll be back in a second, or a minute or two. Okay, I use backwards coffee. Has actually introduced me to messing around here. I'm quite pleased with that because that's actually introduced me to a new way of doing things. Pull off the stars, process that, then process that, and then put them together with Pixel Math. Sorry if I'm a noob and everybody already knew that, but it's pretty cool that I think. But thinking about it, you can also, when you run deconvolution, one of the problems that you get with deconvolution is that you get star ringing, either dark or white around your stars. And I know it can be avoided using masks and all that alarm. But if you think about it, this is what I think about when I'm making coffee. If you do that with StarNet and then run your deconvolution on that image, then add the stars back in, you're not going to get any ringing effects around your stars because they weren't on there in the first place. So that's something else to try. Assuming, of course, you can run deconvolution with a nonlinear image. Right, let's try it. Just seeing what Third Rock's written. I'd be interesting to see what effect StarNet has on Altenac. I hate deconvolution. I'm going to do it now. I'm going to try it. Let's see what happens, eh? Let's just give it a go. I'm not going to do a point spread function because I've got nothing to do it on because there's no stars. So let's see what happens. Here's the big one, guys. Deconvolution. So external PSF, none. De-ringing, don't need to worry about it, do I? All right, let's put preview around that. The reason I do previews is because with some of the PixInsight processors, you don't have a preview box. You don't have a preview button. So if you put the preview on, you can easily step back using this button here. Clone stamp. No. There will be ways to do it, but I don't even think about the horse head. It's not in my it's in my vocabulary, but I'm not that keen on it, to be honest. Right, let's just try this on that image. See what happens. Running 10 iterations, so it's going to be quite fast. Oh yeah, there we go. Would you look at that? Did it make any difference? I don't know. Let's do 20 iterations. No, let's do 50. Let's go for it. 50 iteration. A big giant blue ball. I don't know. The one thing you won't get, which is what I get on Altenac, are massive diffraction spikes. Because it is so bright, it throws a diffraction spike across half of the actual Horsehead Nebula underneath it. So that's the problem I have with using a Newtonian on that particular area. I don't think it is making a difference at all. No. It is. Yes, it is. Definitely. Look. There's deconvolution. Can you see that? Not you. But look, that is actually pulling out a bit of sharpness there on that. Yeah, okay, cool. And that's running deconvolution without worrying about PSFs or de-ringing or anything, because there's nothing there to de-ring. Right, let's drag that over the main image. Run 50 iterations on the main image. You can see the HA down here, look. You see all these little, tiny little red dots? This is all hydrogen alpha all around here. There's also some over here. And there's some over here as well, but obviously it's not showing so well because this is just a one-shot color image. There's no filtrate, there's no filters been run on this to pull that out. That's the problem with with mosaics or big mosaics, Third Rock. You'll spend so much time imaging nothing to actually make the image perhaps correctly square. I did 15 panels on Cygnus, and one of the panels, because some of the stuff was down here, it's like, so it's 3 across the top, 5 down the sides. Because some of it went down the bottom here, I had to do another image to the right of that with nothing in it, the stars. Otherwise the image would have looked like that. So it would have looked totally odd. So to actually get the squareness back, I actually had to take an image of nothing, lots of nights on it. So it can drag you down. You know, you don't see your result for weeks, sometimes months, when you're doing big mosaic, and it can drive you a little bit crackers, you know. Right, so that's worked well, hasn't it? Look at that. Right, so that's deconvolution. That's an interesting. Let's shut that down. We don't need that. I'm going to run as an experiment unsharp. See what happens. Yes, bringing a tiny amount out of there, which is really all you want. You want tiny amount when you're doing this sort of stuff. It's just little adjustment. Let's put the unsharp mask. No, I don't like that. Whatever that's done. Made it a bit too hard. Forget about that. Patch it with bad stuff. $70 panels. Is that 70 panels of what? RGB, HA and O3? Is he using a mono camera for that? Do you know? How many hours is he doing per panel? Because that's like a project that will never end. If you think about 70 panels, all right, it's say you do 5 minutes per sub, you got 70 panels to do, and you're doing RGB, so that's 3, and then HA, probably. Was he using a one-shot color? Okay, so he's got RGBHA. So let's say 5 plus your luminance. That's 6. Luminance, you don't need a filter, you just use it open. So you got 6. Say you got 5. 70 panels. That's 350 panels, right? Times say 5 minutes. Oh God. Who's quick at maths? 350 times 5 minutes per panel divided by 60. 29 hours. Oh Jesus. All right, so that is 70 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 400. Times 5 minutes. 5 minutes, say he's doing 5-minute images. Divided by 60. 40 hours. So he's gonna get, say he gets 5 hours a night on average. 8 nights. So if he's got 8 nights, he needs clear skies. Maybe you get 1 a week. 2 months, there you go. Trust me, you get very bored with it. And then putting all that together, oh my God. Then somebody comes along and presses delete on one of your images. Oof. Oh. Okay, so that's that. Now, I'd like to bring something out down here a bit better. Ooh, look at that. Red. That'll work. Let's get a mask going. I'll do. I know this is cheating and you shouldn't do this, but There we go. How's that? Not too bad, I guess. We'll play with this. How's that? Did you see that? Wants us to buy in PI and APP. Oh, my God. You like it, AR? Did you like the mosaicing trick?